What's up, wonderful people of Earth? Thank you very much for clicking this video. Straight out of Africa with good vibes, lots of love, peace, forgiveness, and honesty as our message to the world. And today's videos, we are not like yesterday's videos. They are hot videos. Watch till the end. Leave your comments and tell us where you're watching from, man. Hit the like button. You are loved and respected. Big up to yourself and just dive in.
Jesus. What? What? You ever seen a clean poster?
Like, how are you gonna take all that soap off?
You have to put it in a single insert. What do you mean?
You're gonna put the toaster?
You do that all the time, Mama. This is not my first time. Just don't plug the plug and that's it.
You're gonna be the first one to reuse that then?
No.
What do you mean no?
This is not my first time.
You're gonna be the first one to put toast in that.
I have to let it dry and then I...
Are you trying to get us electrocuted, bro?
Nothing gonna happen. This is not my first time.
Bullshit.
Yo, English people, can you tell me if that's the right way to wash it? I doubt, man, but good vibes to everyone out there and much love. Certainly never seen anything like this. What is this now? Man, it's got a boy stuck. Oh my god, what is this now? This some fish with a tag. Oh, what is that? What might that be? It really makes me wonder. You know, there's a lot of things in the sea and they really surprise me. From this side of the world where I come from, there is no such big water bodies. Only rivers, big rivers, but now sea, ocean, wow, that's something very creepy to me. Oh my god. Like now, these things always surprise me and I really wonder. Oh, now seeing this so much water, I don't know what I can say.
Look,
Doesn't
if you
my mind.
stop thinking about someone, this video is for you. Like if they're affecting your day-to-day life, like if you are constantly thinking about them to the point where it's like bugging you every moment of the day. And trust me, I've been there, I know what it feels like, and it fucking sucks, okay? So this is how you get rid of it. So you've probably heard of a self-concept, okay? But you've also probably wondered, like, what the fuck is a self-concept? A self-concept is your dream self, okay? Like, when you have a strong self-concept, you have a strong relationship with your dream self. So now that we know what that is, like, let's figure out what our dream self is. I want you to take a moment, okay? List out everything that your dream version of you has. Like, do they have an amazing car? Do they have a great boyfriend? What do they like? Like, what do they have going for them? Did they finish school? Do they have a gorgeous condo in downtown Toronto? Like, who are they? And I want you to list out every single feature of them. But now I want you to list out what you need to do to attain every single one of those features. Because once you develop a strong self-concept, once you have a strong relationship with yourself, then these guys ain't gonna be shit, okay? You are not gonna be thinking about this guy.
You're going to be noticing that it's getting harder and harder and harder for you to listen to what anybody else is telling you to do. You're going to be noticing that it's harder to listen to mainstream or new age spirituality type of videos like the tarot readings, the astrology readings. The ones that you just see over and over again, you're not going to be able to listen to them anymore. And you may notice that they have a very high amount of people following them. A lot of people around you might even be saying like, oh, did you see it was a full moon today? Did you notice the energy today? Or things like that. And you're going to be like, I don't care. And in the past, these things were very, very important to you. This is how you managed your day. This is how you designed what type of day you were going to have. You would check in with what somebody else was saying the energy was first, maybe even me. And this isn't really good for me, even though I'm talking about it, but it's fine. It's good for you guys, and that's all that matters, right? The main point of all this is, in the past, you relied on somebody else to tell you how you were going to have your day or what choice you were going to make. And you're becoming more and more and more self-reliant as you get more and more and more comfortable standing in your own power, standing in your own ability to decide for yourself. As you become more responsible for yourself and your own energy and your own actions, your own thoughts, because see, in the past you handed that responsibility over to other people. And this is why you allowed them to dictate what you were doing. Because you could say, oh, well, it's a full moon. Oh, it's because I'm an Aries. Oh, it's because this is happening with the tarot cards. This is what they said was going to happen, right? When you're saying all those things, it's handing the responsibility over to an outside source. But you have been taking more and more and more responsibility for yourself. So as this happens, it's just natural. It's a natural consequence or a natural reaction that you are not going to be, you're going to be more disillusioned by outside sources trying to tell you what you're supposed to be doing right now.
Okay, let's keep watching. First, locate the muscle. Okay, the half moon. The half moon is the fingers. Then you do that. You can use your lotion or scream or, oh, this looks like a certain video we had. There is a certain episode. Some girl was telling us to do that.
الفتح بس قول يا الله افتح يا الله يا معود يا الله افتح افتح يا الله يا الله يما اسم الله يلا قول يا الله انت قول يا الله يا الله بس الحنفية ماكو حنفية
لمس
ها
لمس بس تقول يا الله ولمس تنفتح.
شلون هي جوال؟
اي جوال
عليك يا الله.
اي هو يا الله.
يا الله
كل شيء يا الله.
يا الله يا الله مو هي يا الله هذا دا يقول من
امجد دلي منين؟
يا الله
منا دوس هاي دوس تكنولوجيا دوس
The surface of the ocean isn't flat. It is, ever so slightly, the shape of what's below it. Yeah, and we can use that to map the ocean floor. It's so cool. I spoke to a marine scientist about this.
The gravitational field of the Earth isn't absolutely constant. So if there's a deep trench, there'll be ever such a slight dip down in the sea surface above it. If there's a mountain, there'll be ever such a tiny bulge in the seawater.
To create some of the topography that you see on Google Maps, we're using satellites to send radar pulses down to the surface, measure the height in multiple places, and then estimate the shape of the ocean floor below. The next time that you look out across the ocean, just take a second and appreciate how absolutely insane that is. But this radar on the surface method doesn't give us a super precise view of the ocean floor. We still need to fill in a lot of detail, and we have really cool technology to do that too. So if you want to know more, I made a whole longer episode about this, or you can just follow here for more videos.
Bashar is not the entity's name. In their reality, they're telepathic with each other. They don't need names, but he knew we needed to call him something. I am half Irish and half Syrian. My father's side is Middle Eastern. It is a Middle Eastern word. I didn't speak the language. I still don't speak the language. And I actually had to be told 2 or 3 years after I started channeling, when somebody did speak the language, they came up to me and said, do you understand what Bashar means? And I said, no, I have no idea. He said, it actually is a Syrian word. It means messenger or bringer of good news. So I said, okay, I get it. He had to choose something out of my background somewhere that is at least representative of what he's doing and allows us to give him a name, even though it's not literally his name. And this is part of kind of these breadcrumbs that he sort of drops for me throughout my life that are a puzzle that is just personally for me to pull together. But at least it allows us to identify with him in some way, shape, or form and allow him to have a normal back and forth.
So you've heard of this, right? It's the Great Wall of China. But what if I told you that the Chinese didn't actually build it? So who built it then? Well, what if I told you that the Great Wall of China was actually the Great Wall of Tartaria from the Moorish Empire, you know, the ones that they don't really want you to know about? I know, crazy, right? Well, maybe you can answer me this then. The Chinese built the Great Wall of China, then why are the steep sides facing towards them? Seems odd. Also, why are the lookout posts also facing towards them? You would think it would make it easier to defend yourselves if you were facing the enemy, not yourself. Seems a little weird. Or like that way they could see the enemy coming and they could properly defend themselves with bow and arrows or whatever they were using, throwing rocks. It just doesn't really make sense to build everything facing you, not away from you. Oh, and what about these old maps? Huh, what's that? Tartaria? That's funny. Maybe it's the Great Wall of Tartaria surrounding China to protect themselves from China. And then when the empire got taken out by the mud flood, the Chinese kind of just took credit for it because, you know, as we all know from history, the winners and the victors write the history. Just a thought. If you want some more content on Tartaria, then make sure you like this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and let me know what other topics you want me to cover. See ya.
So what does it mean when your ears are ringing spiritually? This is not the medical condition, and if you have that going on, definitely get it checked out. So if you don't have the medical condition and you have ringing in the ears, what does it mean spiritually? Well, first let's talk about the tone. There's high tone, high pitch, and low tone, low pitch. High is always a higher realm, a higher vibration, your higher self, your guides, angels, loved ones in spirit. And sometimes it's a very specific person. It's whoever comes to mind at the time. Usually any type of ringing in our ears is a sign or a warning to slow down or pay attention. It's also a sign sometimes that a download of information is coming. So sometimes whatever we're saying, whatever we're doing, whatever we're talking about, we need to stop and pay attention, look around, and examine our thoughts and our feelings and what we were doing. Anytime you hear a high vibration, it's a higher realm. Anytime you hear a low vibration, it's a lower vibrational being, or it's lower vibrational activity. This could include like a earthbound spirit or a spirit that's not crossed over. So now I'm going to tell you specifically what does it mean when it comes from the right ear, the left ear, high or low. So a high pitch in the left ear is usually good news. Good news, something good coming in, you know, like a good sign, a sign that, you know, you're on the right path, you're on the right track, you're doing something right. It's also a sign that all will be okay. It's confirmation, it's validation. And it's also a reminder to stay on the path and stay positive. A high pitch in the right ear is also a good sign. It's usually an announcement is coming, some kind of news. It's usually something you've been wanting. This is like an answered prayer, a miracle coming through. This is like good timing. Good is coming your way. Things that are well-deserved, blessings are coming your way. It's also a sign that your guides are close by and that they can hear your needs and they can hear your prayers and they can hear your requests and they're working on them. Your spiritual team is also letting you know that you have manifestation power. Okay, so what does a low pitch mean? Again, low pitch is usually low vibrational or like a lower energy. It could be low energy people talking about you. So a low pitch in the left ear is usually a warning. It's a warning that somebody's either, you know, discussing your business, talking shit about you behind your back, gossiping, telling your secrets, or talking like lowly of you. It's also a warning to not tell your business to others. And it's a warning that there might be people around you, you know, that you really just can't trust at all. And what about a low pitch in the right ear? This is usually stop, pause, look around, see what's going on, try to think about what you just said. Pay attention to like what you were just doing. It could be a warning from your guides or your spiritual team to slow down, to protect your energy. It could be there's some energy stealers or energy vampires around you, or a jealous person. So be like aware of who pops in your head. It could be somebody who's just a hater sending you like negative energy. You could also ask your guides to please show you the negative person and then kind of pay attention to the signs. Follow for part 2. I'm going to get into more specifics about what ringing in the ears could mean.
Officially, 16 million people have watched the harvest from this plant, and you guys wanted the conditioner recipe, so here it is. After collecting the shampoo ginger gel, I'm going to filter it just like I did in the last recipe through a couple sieves and a fine cheesecloth. That's just going to get all the plant matter out of there and leave us a really clean, nice gel. Next, to a glass beaker, I'm going to add my natural emulsifier along with the oils. I personally like jojoba oil, argan, and rosemary oil for this, along with a little bit of glycerin. Next, I'm going to add these to a double boiler so that they can melt all together. You'll also want to warm your shampoo ginger gel up in here so that they're the same temperature. This part is optional. It's a natural probiotic preservative, and that lets me store my conditioner outside of the refrigerator for more than a week. Next, I'm going to pour the oils into the gel with constant stirring until I get this lovely emulsified mixture. As our conditioner cools, it's going to thicken up into a lovely lotion-like texture. This pump bottle gets stored in my shower next to the shampoo, and all of the refills I store in my refrigerator for up to 6 months. Let me show you the texture of this. It's really nice. Can I help you?
Yeah, hey, is this Pippy?
Pippy!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Here you
It's
go.
my dog!
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
How did you find it? It's been 2 days!
Yeah. I saw your flyer. Yeah, I actually found her like 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah, I found her 2 days ago. And she's been at my house just chilling. She's such a good girl. She's such a good girl. Yeah, I've been feeding her, giving her water, everything, you know.
Thank you so much.
She's taken care of, so.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
Give you a hug.
No problem. Like, she's such a good girl. I love the things that she does with her little nose when she's hungry. She does that little thing. The little paw thing, too.
Yeah.
She's so cute. Oh, my God.
Where did you find her?
Okay, so she was on Meredith Road, not too far from Sunset Park.
Oh, yeah, that's like that's pretty far.
Yeah. It's
Those two rat front teeth, I'm not going to go into the symbolism of it.
My dad is a rat, and his life has kind of been ever since my mom, an ox, left him, like, way back in the day. He's, like, basically an old man, alcoholic, has a shitty attitude. He's had his teeth knocked out. That's an interesting thing I wanted to mention.
You see what happens when a rat gets his teeth knocked out? He doesn't do so well in life. Notice I mentioned the teeth. I just didn't want to mention why. There you go. So now the Matrix is telling on it at itself. Well done. Well done. You just played your part. I wasn't gonna go there.
I gave this guy my number at the bar and he left me a voicemail. What? And listen to it. What do you mean?
Again, the guy from the street. I left you a message several days ago. I don't like leaving second messages, but I like you. You're a very elegant woman. You're very attractive. But I don't play that game. So here's how it's going to work. If I have not received a phone call back from you
Well, that's scary.
by 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon, I'm no longer interested. I'm very intelligent. I'm great in bed. I make great money. Believe it or not, I'm a complete catch. Matter of fact, I'm one of the few men in the city that has nothing wrong with him. Now, I understand if you've got other issues. I don't know, maybe you were abused in childhood. Maybe you're
No, this is gotta be a joke.
frightened or has an anxiety disorder. Maybe you're on some medication for that. I don't know. There could be another issue.
There's gotta be something wrong with this guy.
And you haven't called me because there's been some horrible things that happened in your life which prevented you.
This is scary. I've never heard of anything like this in my life.
The guy from the street. I left you a message.
It's like a robot.
I know.
No, you know when they have the voiceovers with the TikTok when the person's talking like this?
Yeah.
Why, that guy's scary.
I know.
If he's like that,
Ew.
without even knowing you, that's scary.
Why does he sound like he's
What do I
50
do?
years
I
old?
would have called for 1 second. That's a murderer.
No, that's
a serial killer.
That's what I was just gonna say.
That's a serial killer. Are you kidding? What would you do? You run for your life. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Imagine if she brings him home. I was thinking of going on a date with him.
Oh, now I know.
I'm kidding, it's a TikTok!
There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours.
In 1989, the Soviet space probe Phobos 2 photographed an unidentified cylindrical object near the Martian moon just before losing radio contact.
And on this picture, this one of the last pictures, we can see here strange object, and also one of the pictures shown a big shadow on the surface of the Mars.
И ровно через 3 дня после этой последней фотографии Фобуса не стало.
And right after 3 days,
Он исчез.
as this picture were received, the signal's connection with Phobos 2 was lost.
That's not a shark, or a dolphin, or even a turtle. It's the world's most dangerous bird. This enormous bird, called a southern cassowary, was seen swimming in Australia's Bingle Bay. The endangered species can grow to be as tall as a human, and up to 165 pounds, and has a dagger-shaped claw attached to each foot. Officials say these animals can do a lot of damage if they're provoked. In 2019, the cassowary killed its owner in Florida after he apparently fell into its vicinity. But don't worry. Officials say these animals aren't overly aggressive and attacks are rare.
In Chinese astrology, they talk about enemy signs and enemy years. For example, I'm a monkey and across the wheel is the tiger, my enemy sign. Here's a quick chart that you can screenshot as a reference. What does it mean if you're in an enemy year? Well, it's said to be 12 months of misfortune. And if you're thinking about marrying your enemy sign, well, that would be ill-advised. It's interesting because they're basically talking about oppositions, which we have in sidereal and tropical astrology. And although oppositions are considered a hard aspect and can create tension or conflict, they also give us the opportunity for union and compromise, creating a balance. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please like, follow, and share.
If you saw. Yo, thanks for watching up to this far. Lovely people. Much love to you. There's a lot of videos has passed with good information and lovely humans. But there is that video that really touched my mind. It's that video where the lady was doing some TikTok with her dad. That's very interesting, man. That relationship, I admire the relationship between the child and the parent. That's something so good, you see? That way they can even communicate things that does or are not well with the child, and it's so good. Much love to all parents out there that treat their children well and show them love and educate them. Why? Good love, and yo, may the universe reward you generously. And all those people watching, let's keep watching, man. Watch till the end. More interesting stuff coming your way.
If you thought that this was how we moved through our solar system, you'd be wrong. In reality, it looks a lot more like this. The Earth moving around the Sun in a coarse screw shape, and the rest of the planets are doing the same. How is this possible? Well, for one, our entire solar system rotates around our Milky Way galaxy at an insane 220 kilometers per second. Not only that, our entire solar system plane is tilted forward about 60 degrees in reference to our galaxy's plane. When you trace out all of that movement, you can see our planet spiraling through space in beautifully organized chaos. So if you think about it, Earth is not only our planet, but it's also kind of a spaceship.
How to fold clothes? Wow, you see, this guy is a very wonderful guy, and much love to him, man, and may the universe reward him, because he teaches us a lot of things, man. Because of him, I've seen a lot of hacks, and we have learned a lot of things. Some of his hacks, most of them do work, and it's very nice to see human beings sharing information out there. You see, free of charge. This is so great, man. Wow, this is interesting. Much love to everybody out there doing good deeds and giving what they have, no matter what it is. It is not about just material stuff. Even the emotional blessings you can give to people, love, peace, forgiveness, respect, honesty, all those good deeds, you see? Like now this guy rewards people not in terms of material, but
have you noticed
with
that
the knowledge.
Objects in your home have recently gone missing? Suddenly your keys can't be found anywhere in the house. Suddenly your purse is nowhere to be found. Suddenly these little objects around the house that you know where you put them last are suddenly gone. Let's talk about why on a metaphysical and spiritual level this happens. So obviously, barring all physical things that could, create this, you forgot where you placed it, someone else in the home moved them. If, you've checked through all of these boxes and you realize, okay, nobody in my family has moved this object. I know where I placed it the last time. I didn't just forget. Then listen up. So the closer we get into the fall, aka spooky season as they refer to it, the thinner the veil between our world and the spirit world will continue to get. And when I say that, when the veil continues to thin, it just basically gives us more of an ability to peer through our dimension into the spirit dimension. So this, in terms of objects going missing, are a very common thing that I hear from people when they're experiencing spirit activity in their home. Very often spirits will move certain objects around, or they'll almost like hide objects. And I have a little story about this. So years ago, when my husband and I first started our eBay store, we buy and sell vintage and antique things. And years ago, right after we had first started our store, we had sold this really beautiful cat eye glasses brooch. It was just this little pin that was glasses, but they were in like a cat eye design. Somebody purchased it in an auction, and I always kept all of our jewelry for the store in the same place. It was always kept in a little jewelry box. And when my husband and I went to grab that brooch, it was not in the jewelry box. And I know that I put it in the jewelry box. So we spent the next 2 days over the weekend tearing our house apart trying to find this thing. And we could not find it. And I was beside myself by the end of the weekend, full of anxiety, like going over in my head, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to email this buyer and tell them we've lost your purchase. So I was devastated. So come Monday, I was getting up, I was fully prepared to message that buyer. And when I walked out into our living room, there, dead center in the desk where we would take our pictures for our store, was that brooch. It was like somebody said, oh, sorry, here you go. You can have it back. And we definitely searched that table. It was not on that table the night before. So the next time you notice spirits moving stuff around, say out loud or in your head, guys, I see this. I understand that you're moving these things around, but I need it back right now. Can you bring it back, please? Let me know in the comments if you've experienced this already. Hope this helps. Love you.
I'm sorry, dog. Anything to be TikTok famous. 1, 2.
Noah, you throw that dog in the pool and you're going back to live with your mother.
Lucky bastard.
So heavy. Who's that?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I grew a Siberian Husky.
You have the dogs that love the water. And then you have the dogs that hate the water.
It is bedtime. Let's go.
This is how you find it. Find the back of the skull. Okay. Oh. Pick up the ball with your fingers, and this is very gentle technique. Feeling of floating and finding space in between your hands is a goal. Take a moment to observe and compare this side of the neck and the other side. Ha! Oh, now this is very interesting, man. Oh. Another reason for facial asymmetry. Oh my god, what is that? Significant tilt rotation of rib cage.
Let me tell you about this disease your doctor won't tell you about. They can address it, but they won't. And it causes all these symptoms here. And people go through their lives year after year not knowing that they have it. And that's because no one talks about it. Now let's go through the symptoms, what it is, and how to fix it. Number 1, which is causing a lot of obesity, is constant cravings for sugar or even salt. Another one is difficulty losing weight. It could be on your arms, your belly, your chest, could be anywhere, even on your back or your neck, and have trouble sleeping. Low energy, fatigue, brain fog, poor quality of sleep, or maybe you have to keep getting up and going to the bathroom every hour or 2 hours. Mood swings, irritability, inability to concentrate, or it could be high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You could also have migraines or headaches, pains that you can't explain in your body. There's many others like food addiction, non-alcoholic fatty liver. You could have fat on your other organs. Could be depression, anxiety, and even neurodegenerative diseases. Now these are all signs of hyperleptinemia, and this is caused by leptin resistance. Did you know that leptin's one of your hormones? And when you're resistant to it, then your brain doesn't respond well to it and doesn't send the signals that it needs to. In part 2, I'll show you how to fix it.
Do not buy anything today. You don't need it. You have a house full of crap that you haven't used in years, and one day you're going to throw all of it away. Or your kids will do it for you after you die. Tangible items are not going to make you happy. You just think that you need to buy them because of marketing and advertising that is brainwashing you. There is no path to becoming wealthy that involves spending money and being a consumer. But popular culture will have you think that you have to spend a bunch of money in order to be successful. Because that's what advertisers and marketers want you to think. Because that's what makes corporations tons of money. All while making you broke. You will never succeed with your money until you get your shopping habits under control. Nothing is on sale and nothing is a bargain. You are not getting a deal anytime that you spend money. If you want to seek happiness through spending money, go buy experiences, go on a vacation, go see some relative that you haven't seen in a while. Spend time around people that fulfill you. But do not buy tangible objects that are just going to decorate a future landfill someday. If you want to throw your money in the trash can and light it on fire, then you shouldn't be spending money on a bunch of crap that you don't need. Corporate America wants you to be a consumer because they want to make a loser out of you. The choice is yours. Choose wisely.
Did you know that your car has got ears? Some cars have one ear, some cars have 2 ears, and some cars even have 4 ears. Right. Did you know that? No, you didn't. A lot of people don't know your car's got ears. We're going to show you what's the ears of the car. It's these things here. These here. These are the ears. These are the ears. They listen. The engine is listening. All the time it's listening to make sure there's no knocking. And in case you want to know what is knock, now you don't know what is knock. Do you know if you hear your car is driving normally, then there's a sound very similar. They call it to popcorn. It's like crackling. You can hear it. It's like a funny sound. And it's usually only under acceleration. Right? It's called pinging. It's called knocking. So this is what your car is using for listening for knocking and pinging. Right? So how does it work? Because this thing is like a microphone for your car's computer. Did you know? It's a microphone for your car's computer. It's listening to your engine all the time. So when you drive, vrpa, 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 it's listening. And then it's telling, no, well, let's turn the power a little bit down for this guy. He's going a bit crazy now. Engine is hot. Now we're hearing a small knocking. And then with our ears, then we're telling the computer, no, just take some power away. So that's what this thing is doing. It's for, if you didn't know, your car is always listening. So when you feel sometimes you can hear a little snap, crackle, pop as they call it, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's not accelerating so well like it was, then you know it's a thing called a knock sensor. Did you know? It's a knock sensor, you say for knock, but it's listening. So there you learn something new at the Redline. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching the very first informative Did You Know at Redline. Did you know that your car has got ears?
Decide that you have something and you will have it. Decide right now that it's yours and don't budge. Don't change your mind. How bad do you want it? Do you really want it that bad? If you want it so bad, then fucking decide it's yours and you're gonna get it. And yeah, sometimes it is necessary to be aggressive and decisive for yourself and stop changing your mind. Oh, I don't know if I deserve it. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen. Change your mind to say it's gonna fucking happen for me because I said so. It is happening. I don't give a fuck what is going on. I'm gonna get it. It's mine. I don't care. It's mine. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna fucking get it. You need to have this attitude in life if you want to win. Ever notice the bratty kid or bratty person always getting what they want? Because that's their assumption, that's their identity. They always get what they want, and therefore they do. You don't need to have a bratty attitude, but I'm just saying, well, yeah, why not have a bratty attitude? But you don't need to be rude or mean to people. You don't need to come off like that, but you do need to become the person that always gets what they want. The person that knows that when they decide to have something, they will get it. Let me give you two of my recent examples. So when I was in Colombia recently, I was in a village and the gym closed down, and I'm an avid gym goer, and hell no, I wasn't going to be living in the mountains for 3 months without a gym. And I told my friend, I was like, no, it's going to open up. It's going to open back up. And they're like, the owner sold it, and like they're changing it into a different place. It's not going to be a gym anymore. And I looked at them and I was like, watch them open it back up, because I need a gym here. I'm not doing outdoor home workouts, even though I do outdoor workouts, but I want a gym for squats and deadlifts. I'm not accepting that. It's going to open up. You guys, 2 days later, another owner bought it and opened it back up. Like, there's no fucking way I was going to go months without a gym. It just wasn't happening. Like, there is not a single thought in my mind that that would have happened. No, it's not happening. I will have my gym, and I got my gym 2 days later. That story is on my YouTube of me manifesting things when I was living in Colombia. Another example is me getting upgraded. I've been in 10 hotels in Indonesia. In Asia, I'm traveling Asia. 10 or 11 hotels now, and every single one I've been upgraded. I didn't pay for the top floor room. I didn't pay for the big suites. I kept getting them though, because that's my assumption, and I hate being on the ground floor. I'm not accepting that. Did I pay for the ground floor? Yeah. Did I get the ground floor? No, I got the top. In every single one of my 11 places, I have had a balcony suite, because my mindset is I'm always on the balcony suite no matter what. I'm not accepting the ground floor suite. And always there's a series of events that happens and I end up on the balcony suite, because I don't accept any less than that. When I want something, I am stubborn as fuck, and I do not accept less than that. And you need to be like that. You don't act these things out in person. It is all inner work. It's all your mindset work, okay? Stop accepting less than what you want, less than what you're worth. Be stubborn as fuck and you will get what you want. That is how manifestation mindset works, okay? And you don't need to swear like I do. I'm just a very expressive person, so hopefully that doesn't bother you, but if it does, that is your own problem you need to deal with. Because I get what I want, and that's how I am, and so should you be. You're that bitch that always gets what the fuck they want, because you are worthy of it. You are the co-creator or creator, whatever you believe in, of your reality, and when you fucking decide that you're gonna get something, you will get it. Everything in this universe is always working in your favor, but it's what you decide on what you want the universe to do for you. If you're focused on lack, the universe will give you lack. You will receive more lack. If you're focused on getting what the fuck you want, you're gonna get what the fuck you want, okay? I love you guys so much. Make sure you're following me for more. Have an amazing day. Mwah.
The story of the Nephilim, the sons of God, was right before the flood. So it's like these events are not disconnected. This is leading toward the flood. You know, when you grow up in church, you don't really hear anything about the flood except for people were really bad. Okay, what does that mean? Obviously, it's a perspective thing. So what does it mean really bad? Like, why would God destroy the whole earth?
There's a reason why God flooded the earth, okay? People don't understand that God didn't just flood the earth because the earth was full of evil, the end. Okay, when you read the book of Enoch and you read the book of Jubilees and Jasher and you read these other ancient texts, you get a more clear understanding of why God flooded the earth. God flooded the earth because there were no more humans left in it. Noah and his family and his sons were the only beings that were pure in generations, the Bible says. That means genetically pure. They were the only ones left that were pure genetically. They were the only humans left on the earth. Everybody had already interbred and mixed in with genetic, angelic, animal, hybrid, DNA, mixed things.
Most of the people had been corrupted. They had this this sons of God. They had this angel DNA. They were giants. And then according to the book of Enoch, they were like cannibalistic. They were horrible.
This was what we call the seed of Satan, okay? The seed of the serpent. The Bible talks about the seed of the serpent, and it talks about the seed of man. This is what it's referring to. These animal, human, hybrid, angelic, perverted creatures of God's perfect genetics.
A question that often gets asked, if God flooded the earth to destroy the Nephilim, how were there Nephilim afterwards? Well, I think that this is an interesting question.
And there's actually a lot of differing ideas and quite a lot of debate on how this actually happened.
Some people believe there was like a second incursion, that the angels came back and did it again. Some people believe, yeah, there was some kind of a sciencey thing they did. They did some kind of a witchcraft, something to bring them back.
When Noah's sons chose their wives, they may not have been pure in genetics, because they weren't the only ones that were pure in genetics, like the Bible had said. They may have had distant Nephilim, angelic DNA bred into them in some way, because the Bible says that the Nephilim were there in those days and after. So somehow the Nephilim, some remnant of them, survived the flood, okay? And that remnant came on the boat with, I believe, Noah's sons' wives. And they were reintroduced into society via genetic Punnett square random chance that a giant was born out of one of their children. And that giant became its own tribe of people and took over the whole promised land.
Because I believe there was a second incursion. The angels did it again. If you read in Genesis 6:4, it says, the Nephilim were in those days and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men. So before and after the flood, when the sons of God came to the daughters of men.
For me, it's hard to believe in the second incursion theory, because I believe that God flooded the earth literally to end the first generation of giants. And if there was a second incursion, then that would just bring back the giants again. So I think it had to have come from the genetic gene pool. And also it mentions in the book of Enoch that Michael's talking to Raphael about how the punishment that God put on these first initial angels that slept with the women, it was such a severe punishment, anyone's heart that hears about it would be softened by it. And basically that no man nor angel shall ever partake in their portion of judgment or punishment again. And also mentions whose reins are not troubled, meaning like it will change your direction, knowing this punishment was so severe for these angels that no angel would ever do it again. However, I do believe there is attempts to try to recreate the fall, and I think a lot of satanic practices are just that. They're trying to entice angels to sleep with women again, and a lot of these satanic rituals. So I don't believe any of the angels have ever done this.
This is fun. Yo, thanks for watching up to this far, lovely humans. You are all loved and respected. You see all this information we have been seeing here is for entertainment purposes and to understand how people live in different parts of the world. We have said that many times, but also if you see anything that you feel like you can go and research, it's up to you. Leave a comment there, hit the like button. You are loved and respected. Bye bye till we meet next time. Keep it tuned for another fire episode. Yeah, we are out.